BT's Body and Balance is sponsored by Canada Diagnostic Centres, offering MRI, X-ray, and ultrasound services in Calgary and Okotoks.
Social programs for those with Autism Spectrum Disorder are usually focused on children, but for Autism Awareness Month, our health specialist Leah Sarich is here now with how a new program at the University of Calgary is helping adults with ASD make friends and foster mature relationships.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
I think this is really exciting. So this program is called Peers. It was developed at UCLA, but Canada, if you're in Calgary, it's the only place in the country that they're running this program. UC is so forward thinking. It's really exciting. So it's a 16-week program for young adults between the ages of 18 and 30 with Autism Spectrum Disorder, or ASD. So they've got this group thing going. This is Braden here. He's 23. He recently took part in the program. So Braden is really smart. He just completed a degree in history at the USC. But Braden tells me he had no problem chatting with people at university or at his part-time job, but he had real challenges connecting with friends outside of that. So the Peers program teaches adults with ASD how to make friends, develop social relationship, and keep those friends, even have romantic relationships. Adam McCrimmon is one of the researchers involved. You can see him there. He explains that adults with ASD don't understand the social rules that we all follow intuitively.
An example would be how to enter a conversation, which can be one thing that people on the autism spectrum can really struggle with. They don't know how to read the body language of a group of people. If they're talking, how do I enter that conversation without appearing awkward or without struggling with that? So we teach them little rules about how to do that. So you want to stand close, but not too close. You want to make eye contact with people in the group. You want to wait for them to acknowledge you. You want to see what their response is. Are they rejecting of you, or are they accepting of you? Once you recognize that they're accepting, then you insert a comment that's on the topic of what the group is discussing. You wait to see if you're accepted, and et cetera, et cetera.
Wow.
See, we don't even think of these things.
Social cues, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. But then what's really interesting is the researchers get the participants like Braden to practice these rules. So they get to experience them, and of course that builds their confidence in these social situations. And what's also really neat is that simultaneously the researchers are teaching the participants' caregivers or parents these techniques, so then they continue to be a mentor or a coach as these kids keep growing older. So participants in the program can either opt in or out of the research side of it. And on the research side, Adam says they're evaluating the Peers program to see how much social interactions are improved. They're looking to see if the social intelligence of the participants improved, if their impulse control improves, things like that, and if those improvements are lasting, right? So they want to see if they can remember these things. Adam says some people with ASD are socially isolated, but that they're happy with that. Others, not so much. Braden was one of those. He really wanted to make some friends. The other thing that Adam says is, humans are inherently social creatures, so we find that as people socialize more, their mental health improves, so they're going to be measuring that as well. But if you ask Braden, I mean, he's really enjoying his new friends, and he meets with them regularly to play video games and much more.
Usually we just play, games with each other. That's actually what I did. The friends I joined up are part of gaming groups, right, from this one store I go to, and we talk about stuff like the game and stuff related to stuff, like science fiction, fantasy, all sorts of things. But we're just not limited to that. We also talk about various other things, like sometimes we actually discuss politics, given the election, current events.
Good for him, hey, it's great.
Yeah.
So the next program starts in the fall. They are looking for participants. And there's also a Peers program for teens as well with ASD, so you can look into that. To find out more information, you can go to, of course, my blog, or they also have a website on theabilityhub.org where you can get all the information on both programs.
Breakfasttelevision.ca, the way to find health specialist Leah Sarich. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.